Hey, what's going on? I'm Samaj McLeod, and today you're here with After Party on the Artist Spotlight. Where are we here with today?
We here with LEED. What's up, y'all?
How you feel?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm gonna have a conversation, chop it up with you, talk about me, and see what's going on, I guess.
All right, so let's jump right into it.
Let's do it.
So, musician, give me your background on that. Tell me how you got here. All of that.
Honestly, man, I felt like I wanted to make music since I was like 8 years old. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I'll never forget, I was in the car with my dad, and we were listening to a Bow Wow song. He was talking about, like, you know, Bow was like the first line of the song was like, I was 8, I was rapping in the back. I was like, I can do that. Okay, cool. If it was 8, then I can do that too. I was like, no, bro. So, but I never really did it until I got to maybe about middle school. I was writing songs with my friends jokingly. Then I got to high school, I started writing songs for people seriously. And then I got to college and they were like, you gotta learn how to play an instrument. I didn't know how to play shit. So I learned how to play the keyboard really quick and I wound up like playing like Mary Had a Little Lamb for them or some shit like that. And they accepted me and I got into Mercy College, and you know, I wound up studying music and audio engineering and, you know, audio production and all that stuff over there. And ever since then I've just had an affinity for this shit. I'm not gonna hold it. Absolutely.
So you mentioned playing the keyboard. Do you play any other instruments?
No, I play the drums really badly for fun, but no, I don't play any other instruments. But engineering is like I treat it like my instrument. That's my little producer. You know what I'm saying? Like the power engineering is amazing when it comes to, you know, audio and the capabilities behind it. You end up doing a lot of production anyway when you do audio engineering. So that's really my little instrument that I like to play with, FX Studio.
So dive a little deeper into that. What's your process like? How do you?
Hey man, I'm really more of a home studio recorder. I'm not really a big fan of like going to the studio and we got 3 hours or 4 hours to do X, Y, Z, and I'm trying to chop up all these songs and get it all done. It's just feel the rush. You know what I'm saying? I like to be in my house. I got a little setup in my house that I like to use. And there I get to cook it for as long as I want. I can come back to the song whenever I want. But most times, man, I just open up FL Studio, I put my mic on the little stand on the desk, and I get to cooking. You know what I'm saying? I just get to cooking.
Sometimes you know, inspiration strikes at the weirdest time.
Exactly.
So being able to just be like,
Talk about it, bro. You can't get studio time at 4 in the morning all the time that easily. So, you know, I could open that shit up right in my bedroom and get to cooking. You know what I'm saying? So,
for sure.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Something that you said is kind of just like having that flexibility to just go chop up.
Yeah.
What are some things that help you find inspiration or kind of drive you to get into that mode?
Liquor, I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? A little shot or two will do it. You know, a J, you know, I'll do a little J, a little liquor, you know what I'm saying? And I think honestly, like you said, inspiration strikes at the weirdest times. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be 4 in the morning, it could be when, you know, something good just happened in your life, it could be when something bad just happened in your life, you know what I'm saying? But just the ability to take that and just open it up and get to cooking whenever I get home is like definitely one of the best parts of what makes my process my process.
Are there any specific artists you listen to that kind of put that battery in your back and get you in that mode?
Yeah, I listen to everything and everybody, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I listen to what, like, you know, people younger than me are doing. I'm 26 now, you know what I'm saying? So the people who are like 15 and 16 out here doing this shit, I'll listen to them and I'll take notes, man, because they're creating what's gonna happen next. You know what I'm saying? So I listen to the youngins. I listen to, you know, the old heads and bump some old music. I like soul music and R&B. You know, I listen to some rock music, you know what I'm saying, just to get me in that mode. I listen to everything. I like a little bit of, you know, I love Kanye's new album. I've been bumping Carnival like crazy, like everybody else. I love me, you know, some A$AP Rocky still. You know, I still listen to some A$AP Rocky. And these are people who, you know, also inspired me to get into music anyway. So, you know, it's cool to see like a lot of my people that inspired me to keep inspiring me still. Travis Scott, you know what I'm saying? I was listening to Travis Scott since Al Farrow, you know what I'm saying? And he's definitely inspired me because he was doing a lot of the producing and engineering behind a lot of his projects in the earlier days. So yeah, man, like honestly, you know, those are definitely one of, like, I'd say my big three. I'd say those are my big three, yeah, for sure.
So you mentioned Rocky. He obviously has some ties to New York.
Absolutely.
You also have your ties to New York.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah, bro. Listen, I grew up in every part of New York. I was born in Manhattan. I moved to Queens. Then I moved to Harlem. Then I moved to the Bronx.
Oh, so you just
and this was all like an 8-year time span. You know what I'm saying? Then I was living in the Bronx for maybe about 2-3 years, and then I moved to Mount Vernon. So I was basically just, you know, hopping from borough to borough, moved to Mount Vernon, graduated from homeschool, like you know, someone in here just like, you know, talking about, you know. chopped it up with him. But yeah, like definitely I would say, spent a lot of my years in Mount Vernon. And then I wound up going back to Harlem, got a little place on because I missed the city. Got a place in Brooklyn because I wanted to be deeper in it. And then I said, fuck all that shit. I'm gonna go off to Stanford and get, just get a little more peace in my life and, do a little more introspective work. So, I'm fucking with it out there.
So how does having kind of being in a bunch of different spots influence your music, influence your sound, or just like yourself?
That's a good question. I would say mainly like because I'm so New York, you know what I'm saying? Like so New York. Like, there's so much that's happening with like, the New York underground scene that I really like still try to keep in tune with. And some of it plays out in my music too. I love Cash Cobain, and I love, and Cash Cobain mainstream is hell now, but he's still, I saw where he came from and where he started at, and people like him, and just, I definitely I try to keep my sound more New York based, like, some that, people in New York can feel, but I do like to explore. Me and my friend just did like 3 songs on Memphis type beats, you know what I'm saying? Like, and we about to make a little EP too, shout out to him. But, I like to get my little inspiration from everywhere. I'll get on an LA beat, I'll get on an OT7 quantity beat. I don't care, man. I'll rap on anything, I'll get on anything, but mainly I like to make sure that, it can be heard in New York for sure.
100%. And then you talk about now you're over in Connecticut. How is being somewhere that's still attached to New York a little bit, what is it, an hour and a half?
Yeah, I'm like an hour away. I didn't want to go too deep in Connecticut. So I'm in Stamford, where it's like, once you drive maybe about 10 minutes, you in Portchester, like Westchester area, then you about an hour away from where we are right now. So, anytime I want to go to the city, it's an hour away, and that's not a big deal for me. I got a car, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. It's not that deep of a trip, and I got a little more money now, so I can afford to go back and forth. It's okay, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. So I'll fuck with it out there. One of the dope things about it is like, when I used to go to like little like bars that Mount Vernon has, like, and they play all like the Jamaican music at the top volume, and then it gets shot up probably most times on their weekends. Mostly not in a No, I'm not. So when but you're gonna have a damn good time, and you're gonna hear a lot of music that you never really heard before if you're not in that culture, or you don't have access to that Caribbean culture as much as you'd like to. So, definitely that's one of the dope things about Mount Vernon for sure. It might actually inspire some of my music. I'm not gonna hold you at all. I think, what I'll say? I'll say being in Mount Vernon inspired my music because being that close to the city, but not in the city for so long, made me expand my horizons just in general, you know what I'm saying? And accept the fact that, I am the city, but I'm not in the city anymore, and it's okay to still be where you came from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's definitely what I'd say Mount Vernon inspired the most about my music.
So, been making music for a while, a lot of different eras, a lot of different times passed.
Facts.
How have you seen yourself grow in music and also as a person?
Great question. So how I grew in music, I would definitely say like I learned to take more risks, and I learned to be more accepting of the fact that the final product won't ever be perfect. That's a big thing that I struggled with, and I blame college for that, if I'm being real with you, because in college they teach you a lot about, having to do this so that you can do this, so that you can do this, and it's a lot of that. But really in music, it's a lot of freedom of expression, it's freedom of thought, it's freedom of speech, it's, just freedom of just the words you choose to say and how you say them. So I really feel like when it came to engineering and when it came to, how scientific that can be, I got really caught up in how scientific it could be. And I got caught up in like, this frequency is a little off in the song, so I can't drop it until I go back. And you know what I'm saying? And then the song will go out for another 2 weeks, and then it's another 2 weeks, and then it's another 2 weeks, because I'm just like, damn, it's not perfect. But now as I'm older, I look at, especially with, me being, more popular around New York in the SoundCloud beginning era, like when I saw, how many people were just, home studio with it, with like the worst setups you've ever seen in your life, and, getting really, 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 really successful off of that, I was like, man, what am I doing? What am I waiting around for? I need to just go out and get it. So I say definitely that's what I grew the most in when it came to music. It just, listen, it's not gonna be perfect, but it's mine. I put time into it, I put love into it, and I'm gonna put it out to the universe. You know what I'm saying? With myself, I would say with myself I grew because most times, like with music, it's really like a part of you. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really a part of you if you're really an artist. You know what I'm saying? It's really a part of you and what you do in your everyday. You can't live without music. You know what I'm saying? You got headphones or a speaker on or something like that. But for myself, I would say like music taught me a lot about, you know, kind of a similar thing. Just listen, the real goal is just to be. It ain't really to try to be the best rapper. It ain't really to try to be, you know, the most prominent in your city. It ain't really about having the most respect or clout. For me, it's really just about being, and inspiring is the second, you know, purpose for me. So I'm just trying to be, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm trying to inspire whoever needs inspiration or feels like they need inspiration to just be yourself, man.
No, facts.
You know what I'm saying? That's really what music is.
It's playing a little game right now.
The same. Same.
So you talk a little bit about that, like that search for perfection that you had at one point.
Perfection.
What was your definition of perfect? You know, I think you mentioned kind of like frequencies not matching up or something like that.
Yeah, like I would say for me, when it came to any song that I would drop, and I had a few years where like I was only dropping like two, like no, not unrealistic. Like I would drop like 3 or 4 songs like in a year, man. And it was like I was looking back at my discography, and I'm like, damn, like from like, you know, 2019 to 2022, 2023, I'm not really dropping anything.
Yeah.
But it was really because of that perfectionism when I look back, and it was because, you know, like I felt like, oh, I don't have the right setup, I don't have the right interface, I don't have the right microphone, I don't have the right treatment for my room, like, and it was always an excuse.
Yeah.
But that's what it becomes. It becomes a bunch of excuses, and then you look and you're like, I wasted all this time with excuses and not doing anything, not providing any action, not putting anything out into the world. So now I'm really focused on that, man. I'm 100% locked in on just being like, hey, listen, it's not perfect, but it's me. And it's out, and we're gonna do this again next week. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what I've been on lately, for sure.
And then how did you kind of like shift that mindset? What are some things that kind of procured that process? Was sort of kind of just like, yo, I'm kind of like it right now, or like,
yeah.
Just...
I think I took about 8 months to not make a song. I didn't make a single song. I didn't open FL Studio. I didn't think about writing any lyrics. I just didn't make anything. And I struggled during that time because I'm like, damn, I should be making something.
Yeah.
I should be. But when I look back, that time was so needed, because when I got out of that, like, I wouldn't even call it a slump, I'll call it a rest. You know what I'm saying? When I got out of that rest period and I started to be like, no, I want to make a song again. You know, I wrote Bankin on Me, and I loved it because it felt like the first actual song that I wrote. I felt like in the past I was just kind of freestyling and just saying the crazy shit, just saying shit that was pungent, and, you know, hit people like, what the fuck are you just saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but as I get older, I'm really more interested in song creation and song making and production and music theory and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So when I wrote Bankin on Me, I was like, even though this is a drill song, this feels like a song that was written by someone who likes to write songs. You know what I'm saying? And I felt different about it, and then I made the video for it, and I loved it, and I still love it. But every time I make a song now, I'm getting that feeling again, like, oh, I can make something better. And then I do make something better, and I'm like, nah, I can make something better. And then I make something better, you know what I'm saying? So that's really what
So Bankin on Me was like the catalyst.
Yeah, it was the start where it was the first song that I wrote that I was like, nah, I'm back. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I can do this again. So definitely that. Then I dropped Make You Dance, and I love that. I listened to that song about at least a few hundred times mixing it, and then even in the car, my girl knows I love to still just blast it at the time. Like that's hard as listen. Yeah, right. It's hard. That shit down. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I feel back, I feel good, and I'm just riding this wave.
Yeah,
that's really what it is.
I mean, I think the biggest part of the something that really sticks out to me is like you gotta be a fan of your own stuff.
Hell yeah, bro.
I think people in general are kind of like scared to just be like, yo, like my stuff is good, like come rock with me. But if you're not a fan of your own stuff, who else can be a fan?
And I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but in New York, that's a big thing for us. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, feeling like we have to be like either the best of the best, or feeling like we're not enough if we feel like there's someone who does something a little better than us. And it's like, yo, fuck that. Your talent is you are yourself. Your talent is no one can be you and do you like you do. That is your power. You know what I'm saying? So when I see people, you know, overthinking and shit, like I told you, I feel like Connecticut was good for me in my healing process. Because when I look back at all the time I spent in New York, man, I was exhausted trying to compete.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be honest with myself, be real with myself. I felt like I was competing when I look back, and now I don't feel like I'm competing with nobody. I feel like I'm just in my own lane. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, it's funny you mentioned the word compete. I was literally going to use that, but it seems like almost on the front that like you're competing with yourself now. You're kind of in that mode where it's like I just want to be better than I was yesterday.
Literally, bro. Literally, just me versus me. Correcting the imperfections I did yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really what this shit is all about right now. And showing that, you know, when you focus on yourself, you'll be surprised what the fuck you can do. And I'm just leading by example right now. No pun intended, but just I'm leading by example.
Well, there it is. Talk to me about how the name came about.
Bro, my first name is Khaleed. I just chopped off half of it because I started rapping in college. And I think the first year I was rapping, I had maybe like 1 or 2 songs out. But I would go to like, you know, open mics at my school and like open mics in the area, open mics in the city, you know, trying to just get my name out there. And whenever someone would come into the fucking stage, it'd be like, Khaleed, Khaleed, Khaled. I'm like, can y'all niggas read? So now I just was like, listen, chop it in half, you can't mispronounce.
Going off your name, also a little bit of weight. Got your own internet presence going. Talk to me about that. I've seen the Twitter, you know what I mean, followed by Ski Master Slum God. Must I mention? That was the first thing. Talk to me about that. Let's get into that.
Yeah, man. I would say, hold on, say like 2017. I would say like 2017. I started internet meme page called I Might Be a God. And it really got popular, like really popular. Like I want to say, not extremely, but like just like maybe like 30-some thousand followers or something like that. Like something like, you know, small little, you know, collection. At the time, that's a big number, but it's not a big number now. Everybody got that. But what happened was I wound up making a personal page called "LEED is a God," and that page wound up getting banned because I was supposed to watch it on that. Well, I wasn't supposed to like wild shit. It wasn't that wild. It wasn't that wild. It was just, you know, sometimes there'd be like a meme in somebody's ass or something. So they'd be like, hey, and I did that a few times. So they was like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, so from there I made a personal page. From the personal page, it wound up growing maybe about 10,000 followers in the first few months. I never dropped the song, and then I got to college, and then I just used those 2 pages to promote the hell out of the song. That song wound up doing great. It had maybe about like 30,000 something views, something like that, and then it, you know, encouraged me to keep making music because I was like, oh shit, that's easy. I can drop a song and get a bunch of likes and keep pushing and do another one. So, long story short, then like, you know, like I had the Twitter. I was you know, pretty popular on Twitter for posting the memes and stuff like that over there too. Snapchat even, I was really popular. You know what I'm saying? But then I was just using, at the time I was really just using all of those platforms to promote myself. Because at the time I was really like, I don't want to make a bunch of like, you know, pages that are like blogs and stuff like that and be like using them to promote myself. Like I hear people doing that and I hear it works, but you know, I'm not that crazy. Back in the day, maybe I would have like, you know, like listened to my own song a few times on SoundCloud or something, boost the plays or some shit. But other than that, man, like I really was proud of myself, honestly, if I'm being real with you, because even though I wasn't blowing up and I wasn't really like, you know, getting my name out everywhere, my name had enough weight for me to promote itself. And I thought that was really powerful at the time. But, you know, as everybody else does after a while, sometimes you get in your head, you know what I'm saying? You get in your head about this shit and you get in your head and you have imposter syndrome and all type of bullshit, you know what I'm saying? All the trigger words and keywords, but you get a little imposter syndrome and you feel like, damn, like, you know, am I what I say I am? And then you start to self-doubt and, you know, it's cyclical. But when you catch yourself, you know what I'm saying, and you pick yourself back up, you're like, oh, I was always the shit, you know what I'm saying? It don't even matter. But definitely that, like, you know, it was dope for me to be able to promote myself through Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and, you know, now they got TikTok, so I've been definitely using TikTok and, you know, definitely trying to promote myself there. But honestly, bro, I liked the fact that back in the days, like, you could just post memes on Instagram and just blow up and shit like that and just call it a day. Now you gotta really get into making the TikToks and the trailers and, you know, all that shit. But I don't mind it now. Like, I used to be really camera shy, if I'm being real with you, but this year I'm going into, like, it's kind of ironic to be camera shy and want to be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you should probably learn how to get comfortable in front of the camera. So that's what that's a big goal of mine this year, is to just make sure I'm more comfortable in front of the camera and make sure I'm more comfortable in front of hundreds of eyes. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that, because it's gonna turn into thousands of eyes and then millions of eyes. You know what I'm saying? So just trying to definitely take this shit more seriously now.
Yeah. So going off of that, you kind of garnered a reputation in performance for just crazy energy. You know what I mean? You're pretty comfortable in front of people.
Yeah, I still get, I feel like I can put the anxiety away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So talk to me about how that comes about, because you know what I mean. You speak about the camera shy, kind of like that's a lot of people kind of ready to just intake music.
Yeah, man.
How do you let that go and just go crazy?
Honestly, man, like through a lot of repetition, with making sure the song sounds good really loud in the speakers. You know what I'm saying? Because you get to the venue, you don't know what type of speakers they got, you don't know what their setup is and what their treatment plan is, whatever that shit could be a fucking mess. And you got your song that you didn't mix the bass well on, and that shit is thumping. They can't hear your fucking lyrics. It's a mess. But now, I take the time to make sure I hear it in every type of system. And honestly, like, when I get there, I feel like, a different part of me comes out when it's time for me to perform. I feel the nervousness, I feel the energy rush, and I get in front of them and I'm like, it's time to do this. Like, either we doing this or we not doing this. Like, that's pretty much what it boils down to. And it's like, I'm not gonna turn around and go home, nigga, you know what I'm saying? So
I'm already here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I get up there and I just give it my best now, you know what I'm saying? I make sure I look comfortable, I make sure I interact, and back when I was performing earlier, I used to love just giving the crowd energy, so I used to be hype and shit. But I'm old now, man. So now I'm like, I can't do all that shit because I be 3 songs deep and I be sweating and shit. I'm all shirtless. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to see me shirtless and shit, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm just, I take more pride in my confidence on stage and just, taking time to look people in their eyes and interact and see who is the most hype and get them hype, to get other people hype around them and shit like that. I really focus on crowd interaction now more than anything else. So that's why I'm really hyped about this year, because I know with all the performances I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get a lot of time to practice that, so that when I'm in front of bigger crowds, I look like a fucking natural.
100%. Do you have any you gotta give me advice, the pre-show rituals, Red Bull, Celsius?
Listen, like I told you when it comes to recording, man, a shot will do it. A shot will do it. A shot of anything will do it. A shot will do it. I don't recommend smoking personally before performing. I feel like when I smoke before I perform, I'm a little more sensitive to everything around me and shit, so I don't really like to smoke before I perform. I like to treat it like shit, I got a job now, you know what I'm saying? And I perform my job, I like to wait an hour before, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to smoke an hour before I gotta go to work or some shit like that, because it's then I'm not as focused, I'm not as on point, you know what I'm saying? I'm not as, willing to look people in the eyes and interact with them and shit. So honestly, bro, I wouldn't smoke an hour before I perform. I'll take a shot, you know what I'm saying? And just make sure I get real loose and comfortable. I'll literally do some deep breathing, I ain't gonna hold you. I'll do some meditation in the middle of the spot. Speakers blasting, all type of shit, I'm in there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't give a fuck, man. I do know I do deal with some anxiety, and it's something I'm working on. So that's how you work on it, you know what I'm saying? You learn about it and you don't hide from it. So yeah, for sure.
So talking about performance, we've captured the good ones. There's got to be a story out there about some of the not so good ones. Tell me about that.
Man, dude. I got a good one for you. So one time, I want to say maybe about 3 years ago, I got booked to perform at this venue, right? I get there, it's not a venue, it's somebody's house, and it's the basement, right? But the basement's pretty large, I ain't gonna hold you. So I got in there, and maybe about 60, 70 people in there, packed out. But what I didn't notice when I got on stage was that everybody was white. Everybody in there was white, and I got no issue with that shit. But I literally was like, yo, I don't think they're gonna like my shit at all, bro, because this is rap. At the time I had songs out Polish freestyle and whoa and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, these niggas, they ain't gonna fuck with that shit. So I got on stage, I did my songs, and then I did Demons. I did Demons too, and they loved it, bro. But when I got on stage, I shit you not, bro, I tripped so hard on my face, bro, that I literally had to walk out, and then I got an Uber.
No more.
I was I just looked so cool, it looked so lame, man. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I can't do
Bro, they had to humble you.
Right. I feel like I should have stayed. I probably would have got $1 or something with that. But hey, man, it is what it is. That's definitely what it was.
That's a good one.
Yeah. But in regards to bad performances and stuff, I don't really feel like I've had one since I was doing open mics back in college. You know what I'm saying? Those are always gonna be bad shows. Those are gonna be bad performances. Because you don't really look at yourself much to analyze what you should do differently. But now I take that shit seriously. I make sure that I always have somebody to record my entire performance so that I can look back and be like, okay, I gotta do this differently. I gotta work on this. I shouldn't have did that at that moment. I should do this instead. So I be taking notes and shit now.
So put people on some performance game real quick. You know what I mean? Some notes, some things to be aware of.
Yeah. Look at the crowd. Look at the crowd. Look at the people. Keep back straight, chest out. You know what I'm saying? Look confident. Look cool. Don't exert yourself too much because if you got 5 more songs to do, you don't want to put all your energy in the second song. You'll be exhausted by the time you get to the fourth. I'm like, I don't think I'm doing 5th one, y'all. Yeah, peace out. Have a good night. But definitely, conserve your energy. That's a big one. Rehearse. I rehearse ridiculously in my house. Anytime my music come on, I grab a fake microphone and I get to cook it. I get in the mirror. I like, hey, she see me, she know I'm crazy. But it's definitely helpful because then you get in front of the people, and when you get more comfortable, those same things you do in your house, you'll then do in front of the people, and you'll be more comfortable, and they'll see that and they'll fuck with that. So comfortability is everything. Whatever your ritual is before you perform, respect that shit. If it's meditation, if it's tea, if it's coffee, whatever the fuck it is, do that shit because it will help you when you get in front of them people. And that's really about it. And that's some general tips that I think will help you.
But listen up.
Yeah.
All right, we're 3 months into the year. You know what I mean? 2024 is gonna be a big one for you. Let us know what you got coming soon, you know what I mean?
Okay, so definitely got some merch. We got Lead the Way merch on the way. We got some good Lead the Way merch on the way. Hoodies, hats, shirts, we doing it all. Different designs, different colors, we doing it all. We got, a couple EPs on the way. From one with a friend of mine who's really dope. And one by myself that I'm really looking forward to dropping. And we got a couple of music videos on the way with different videographers. I'm trying to connect with different videographers to get different visions out there. I'm realizing how much people love music videos, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really trying to tap into all the videographers out here. If you're hearing this and you make some good music videos, fuck with me. And definitely trying to make sure that we get a lot more studio equipment so that one of the things that I was doing when I was living in Brooklyn was portable studio. I was bringing my studio equipment to other people so that they could use it at a price. But now I want to be able to hire people so that I can do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a really formidable business because I love recording in my home so much. I want other people to be able to enjoy that. And I know a lot of people don't feel like they can record. Recording at home because they don't have the treatment, they don't got the microphones and all that shit. So I'm like, man, I'll bring it to you. You know what I'm saying? And that shit was working for me for a while when I was living in Brooklyn. It kept some of the lights on sometimes. I ain't gonna hold, you know what I'm saying? So definitely trying to tap in with that. Again, I love engineering and production and recording, and I want to make sure that I'm getting more engineering and production credits on other people's shit. Tapping in with female R&B singers and just maybe I'll do another rock song. I did a rock song a few years ago. That shit was the shit. I might bump that on the way home.
Word.
But just definitely trying to expand my palette, expand what my fans can have access to, and really putting myself out there. That's what they can look forward to. Sure.
So a big concept in talking about that was collaboration. Let's get a few people in here, you know what I mean? Mention some names. Who are some people out there that you want to work with?
Yeah, man.
Dream collaboration.
Yes, awesome. Yeah, for sure. Dream collaborations. I would love to do a song with Travis Scott still to this day, man. I got that bug in me, man, and he's always inspired me to just think differently when it comes to music and shit like that. So definitely, dream collab with Travis Scott for sure. In regards to people that I want to collab with, I can't really think of many names that I want to collaborate with. Not that I don't want to collaborate with them, just because I don't know what me and anybody can do together until we're in the same space. You know what I'm saying? So it could be literally anybody. I'll say more so I'm open to everyone. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to everyone. If I feel like you have some form of artistic talent, I want to work with you. You know what I'm saying? And just see what we can do. It could be a fucking house music song. I don't give a motherfucker. If you want me to drop a few bars on it, I'll drop a few bars on the house song. You know what I'm saying? That's really where I'm at with it. I'm really trying to show everybody that I can do it all. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be my version of it. So, yeah.
Came up in like the SoundCloud era, you know what I mean? Got a little bit of status on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
50K, 100K songs. What is it like coming up in that digital age where, now we're almost transitioning to TikTok and Instagram and social media, to promote music?
Right. I feel like, honestly, back when SoundCloud was the shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, 2017, all that shit, when it was the shit. It was really easy because everyone was on it. So your song could show up in someone's Discover Weekly, your song could show up in someone's Release Radar, your song could show up in whatever the fuck. I think Release Radar is Spotify. But someone could show up in your shit, and then you're like, oh, I fuck with this. But it was at the time, I think, because of the Lil Uzis, the XXXs, the Playboy Cardis, the et cetera, and those offshoots of them, the Lil Yachty's, you know what I'm saying? Like, because of those artists and the fact that they were just like me in home studios making the shit, I think that, inspired a lot of people to be like, oh, I can do this shit too, like I said. And they'll get into SoundCloud where, because at the time I think also like artist discovery was more popular. I feel like artist discovery is popular now too, but everyone's just having a moment. It's not really about like finding your new favorite artist. It's not really about that anymore. It's just like, oh, I fuck with this, and this song was cool, and then moving on. You know what I'm saying? But back like around 2017, it was like the end of like people really fucking with an artist for real. You know what I'm saying? Like remember the Cardi wave. You know what I'm saying? When Cardi was on. Cardi from Atlanta, and I was hearing New York niggas about Cardi like they from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying at that time. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely used it to my advantage in a way by trying to make sure that I just kept my name around whoever else I felt like was doing their thing, whether it was in New York, whether it was around the country. Just trying to like keep my name next to theirs on SoundCloud, on Twitter, on whatever, and that's how I wound up getting followed by Ski Mask on God and and all that shit, because I was really trying to get my name known and wasn't shy about it. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't shy about that shit. I was really more so like, I'm going to make sure they know my name in this bitch. And was really confident about that shit. And SoundCloud isn't really what it is, what it was anymore, excuse me. But I think it's still a dope place to drop music. I'll say that there's some things that I don't like about SoundCloud anymore, I'll be real with you. But that's just because when one thing goes, another thing comes. You know what I'm saying? So now there's TikTok, and now like I have songs that have like they were using like a few hundred videos that maybe sit at like a few hundred plays on SoundCloud. You know what I'm saying? But it's just showing that you could be really dope on one medium and really not popular on the other medium, but that doesn't mean you're not dope on both mediums. It just means that you need to show people how dope you are on both mediums. You know what I'm saying? So real shit.
Yeah. All right. So before we get out of here, give a message to your fans, your supporters. Let them know.
Yeah, man. Yo, listen. Be your fucking self. Do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it. Live your life. Life's about ups and downs. It ain't about peaks and valleys, and it ain't a flat line. Life's about ups and downs. You feel what I'm saying? So live your life, be yourself, be great. You know what I'm saying? And listen to some LEED today. You know what I'm saying? Bump some LEED today. Bump some Make It Dance. Bump some Bankin. Bump all that shit. Bump some old LEED today. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but that's definitely what I want to say to my fans, and that I thank them so much for the continuous support over the years. I know it ain't many of y'all now, you know what I'm saying? But listen, when it was a lot of y'all, I felt the love, and I still feel the love, even with whatever the fuck is left, because we gonna grow this bitch to the top. We gonna build, we gonna expand, and I just really appreciate everyone who still supports me. Really do. Thank y'all. So that's it.
This was LEED. After parties, artist spotlight. We're logging out. We're locked in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this.
I got it. Appreciate you so much.